imported. That will be the last field that I actually do, so awesome. I'll try it in here. But yeah, this is, the age of this tractor is part of the issue I now have with it, is that we're basically, I can't do 6 mowing contracts without having to fix it. It's kind of a problem. And I can't see what I'm doing, cars, trees. Casts a shadow. Okay. First waypoint, you go. I mean, at least at the moment, I'm not having to mess around too much with the whole oh, the tractor can't make it round the field. You have to come and help it because it's blocked. So current settings are adequate. It means they don't need the constant oversight. But the job isn't clean. You can see the issue with smooth corners in the grass field next to us, where it's left little triangles every time it went round. Oop. Little too close there. Now, one thing I could, there is a Valtra T mod. I could download that. That's the biggest Valtra available, which puts us in, it's quite a functional tractor and can still do the reverse drive and all the rest of it. The other option would be, I think, the Fent 900 standard, wheeled tractor can also do reverse drive. We haven't really, it's kind of big. I mean, even the Valtra T is kind of big. The Q is good for what we have. Even with the smallest engine possible, it's good for what we have. The other option is to buy a big M with GPS, and then I don't need a tractor with reverse drive. We could use something different. But right now, this is working good. And I see Cavalier Roy is lurking. I'm learning all the back routes, dude. And appreciating that bale contracts don't have to be delivered as bales. I must admit, having turned my back on using bales, I have no idea if all of the physics problems with bales has been looked at, addressed, partially addressed, or anything. All I know is I had major grief with bales on Maypole, and for this playthrough I decided I just wasn't going to use any, at least not for personal use. And I've been so busy the last couple of weeks, I haven't watched anybody play Farm Sim on YouTube for a couple of months now. So I have no idea what's going on with bales. Just that when they don't work, oh good grief, do they not work. How are we doing? 11,000. This is looking like I'm still not going to get this field cleared with this load. Oh well. Squeeze in between the tree. I think that's the best I can do. Little patch of grass I can't lay my hands on. I'm not going to worry about it. And a big patch of grass that I missed turning onto this row. Oh well. So let's drive down to the bottom. Like I said, this is probably going to fill us up. Yep, done. So once we come back to this field, I can get the last of it cleared, move on to 41, and we can get paid. I think that field was worth about 17,000 on the contract. So that'll help. That'll put us up to 20. As I said, we should have a, I want to say just over 100,000. I think it might be a little bit more. Especially once you start factoring in the free grass at the end of it. I did, yes. I have been doing that. The issue is there are times, especially here, I'm here and the sell point is here, and when I set this, oh, he is driving there. Okay, I have had issues with him just getting completely lost and not driving there. A lot of, I have been making use of that feature on this map because I'm doing multiple tasks. So I have all of the tractors doing things. I suppose I can get this thing cleaned up now. But sometimes it does have issues where the dirt road crosses a normal road, and then it kind of gets a little bit, bah, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't find the destination. It could be the fact that I'm selecting just slightly the wrong point on the map, and I'm telling it, hey, drive into this hedge. It just says, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, that's relatively clean. But definitely a vast improvement to what I was used to with, the other thing, Maypole. Anyway, Deutz Series 6. Let's park this up. So what is the horsepower on this thing? This one we've got 183. That's that's 230. That's actually bigger than I thought it was. And then that is 385. That's just shy of the maximum. And typically the one I've always bought, it came up in the store at the horsepower I'm used to driving. Oh look, there we go. I missed a worker. Cool. Let's drop that off. And this can go back in the shed. Actually, I've got to figure out where all my tractors are going, because we've now got four motorised vehicles and only 3 bays. suppose what I could do is pick that up, back it off a little. Pull forwards, out of the range. Okay. So that's good. I will possibly put the class there then. Where is he? Ah. And then that happens. Right, yes. Well, even with the courseplay workers, they kind of have issues too with the hedges. I honestly, I don't know an easy way to get around that. Yes, and that much I've noticed. It's something I've been appreciative of. I remember back on Farm Sim 17 on Lawfolds, you were kind of driving and then, okay, there's the entrance to the field. I have to do a 90-degree turn here and really struggle to get in. And when, I can't remember who did Lawfolds for 19. He got permission from, who was it? Stussy did the original Lawfolds in 17. Is one of someone who may or may not be fairly associated with the farming agency, got permission and did Lawfolds for 19, and he moved the hedges back from the lanes and he made recessed entrances like you have on this map. I'd never really played the map, I just took a look at it because I played like 500-600 hours on Lawfold 17, and so I need a break and I want to play a different map. But I did take a brief look at it, and I did appreciate there's more room on the sides of the roads. There's the hedges curve as you go round, so you're less likely to get caught on the edge unless you oversteer. And the entrance to the field here is reset. The hedge recesses into the field, which makes it much easier to turn into, and I do appreciate that. It makes things so much easier for the workers to work around. It also makes it easier for me to work around, especially when I'm driving at 33 miles an hour on a rough dirt track. But I remember, the original release of Maypole for Farm Sim 23, you'd made the hedges and the sticks non-collidable. And then you said you had problems with, you chop a stick, it makes the hedge disappear, and then the stick disappears below the map and causes all sorts of memory leak type problems where it's still plotting those things in spite of the fact they're 500 feet below you. Now the only way around that is if you're playing with Easy Development Toolkit, you can destroy logs and stumps and it will deal with that. But we've had the collidable hedges, non-collidable sticks, or whatever, and we've had non-collidable everything, and everything is an issue. I think I've heard Oxygen David say that the problem with collidable hedges is it makes the game more laggy. And because he pays so much attention to detail, if you're playing on a low-end system, you're going to have a fair amount of grief playing his maps. Whereas if he can make things as efficient as possible, then you're able to play maps on his maps on the lower end systems. But yeah. Well, let's get that turned on, shall we? Is that on? No, no, no. Yes, go. Yeah, we've been looking at a bunch of very expensive stuff lately. I mean, I'm looking probably in the next 12 to 18 months, I am possibly going to need a new PC. I'm going to have to see what the minimum spec requirements are for FS22, because playing a game like FarmSim isn't that stressful on a PC, but streaming and playing takes a little bit more processor. And so, you know, I might want to consider, especially if I pick a high detail map to play on, you need a good end system. Now, I've got what used to be a good end system back when FarmSim 17 was in its prime. But the only thing I've upgraded on this is I swapped out the, in my mind, undersized SSD for a bigger one. But outside of that, it's got the same graphics, it's got the same memory, it's got the same processor. I couldn't hope to run Starfield on this system at all, even without streaming. Not going to work. Probably Baldur's Gate would be an issue as well, and yeah, I have to wait till next year to see what's what for FarmSim 25 as well. But that could be a pricey upgrade. And there's a bunch of other stuff we want to do down in the basement now. Oh, we did spend the weekend last weekend for clearing out part of the basement, so we can actually now move around this end of the basement. The far end of the basement is now stuff in the way, but we're working on that. Yes. I mean, I think I have played on very old of his maps, sort of back FarmSim 17, where the hedges started out as not collidable, but because they were so realistic and the hills on some of the fields were so steep that if you wrapped bales on the field, they'd just roll away, and yeah, you'd lose them for game months at a time, and then just be driving down a road to a contractor's. Oh, look, there's 20 bales in the middle of the road. Where'd they come from? Oh, those are the ones I baled, 10 game days ago and didn't find. So he made, at that point, I think he created the logic, or it may have been Bullet Bill. They created the logic to prevent bales passing through hedges, but not vehicles. But he said that does have quite a performance impact as well. So more recently, he's stopped installing that script on his hedges. But that was kind of fun, because I had a bale trailer loaded with bales, and I'm going flat out towards the hedge, and I just drove straight at the hedge, and just the tractor came to a grinding halt. Really? You cannot be serious. actually got my tractor stuck on a hedge. Good job. But yeah, we got, you get as far as the hitch and then all of a sudden the bale trailer just stops. Back end of the tractor goes up in the air because it's still travelling at 30 miles an hour and the bale trailer just... Ugh. Yeah, now you see I'm running on a 1080 and I've only got 1 gigabyte of memory on it, which was good enough back in the day. But I believe even at low settings I would need for a memory upgrade on my graphics card, and that kind of just isn't going to happen. And also looking at it, if I bought a graphics card that was fully compatible with my motherboard, they cost about $500, and yet some of the latest 4070s are only $200, and for that, for the $500, I could buy a new motherboard and graphics card, and have a graphics card that is more capable than the best that my motherboard can support fully. Now I know you could buy a 4070 and run it on this motherboard, but I would lose a lot of the features. So why am I doing that type of thing? So, the way I'm looking at it, it's really, from my point of view, I'm at the point where I could do an incremental upgrade, but really the incremental upgrade is bad financial sense, because I'll buy a new graphics card this year, I'm going to have to replace the motherboard next year and get a new graphics card anyway. Okay, you are done, are you? That is good. Let us clear the thing. Start the engine, turn the seat round. So contract on 103 is 26% done. We are finally delivering the first contract we collected. Because why not? Okay. Why is that not turning? Because Courseplay is open. I'm going to drive this out to here, and hopefully, who knows if this is going to work. The last contract is entered there. So, set destination. Should I set it that way? No. Set destination that way. That's working. And I assume, where are you going to go? Oh, you're going to go that way, into the tree. Okay, well, yeah, that works. Really not. And there we go. And that's the other argument with, collision. With collision points, having something like a telephone pole in the middle of the field. Yes, it's realistic. If it's got collisions on it, then workers have a royal pain unless you use Courseplay to drive round obstacles. Or you make it no collisions, in which case it's kind of immersion braking when you drive through it every time you go up and down the field. Yeah, it's... I mean, I've watched things progressing over time, and I I usually leave a major upgrade for the point where, okay, all of the new games coming out, one of which I'm kind of interested in, will not run on this system. Now I need to upgrade some things. And a lot of times I've been able to do incremental upgrades, but with the leaps and bounds that are being made in technology since probably the 2010s, by the time I feel, I don't really want to say compelled, but let's use that word anyway. By the time I feel compelled to get better graphics, get a better processor, get more memory, it's like, but to do all of those things, you also need to get a new motherboard. I mean, back in the day, it would be, you need to upgrade from a, to get out of his way, from a 486 to a Pentium or a P6 or whatever. And when you do a processor upgrade, you need a new motherboard. But there were times when, I did the processor upgrade and the new motherboard and had to replace all the memory and the graphics cards and everything else. And I got to the point where I need a little bit more RAM. I can do that. The motherboard can support that. I need a little bit more, a slightly better graphics card. I can do that. The motherboard can support it. I need a bigger Pentium. I can do that. I can replace the old one with the new one. But these days, it's sort of, there's so much peripheral stuff on the motherboard that I am going to have to replace the motherboard at the same time I'm replacing all the other things. So do I just go to the store and buy a ready-made system, or a bespoke system where I can say, I need this, 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 and this, and admittedly, the next PC I get, I'll have a big SSD, but I'll transfer the hard drive, the old disc-platted hard drive, across from the PC I've currently got, because I don't need another hard drive. The PC I'm using will be pseudo-retired, so I can save money by not needing multiple drives. But I mean, like I said, the PC I've been using since FarmSim 17. So that is 6 years now. We're about to head into its 7th year. So that's not bad. If I can get 7 years out of the next one, I won't be complaining too much. I remember there was a story, UK computer press. It was a guy who built PCs for other people. And he said he had a friend of his, happened to be a farmer, who wanted a computer so he could do his accounts. And so he was going to buy Microsoft accounting package or whatever it was, and this is back in the 90s. So PC building guy takes a look at the requirements for the software and basically specs up a system for about £500. And farmer dude is sort of, okay, that sounds good, I'll buy that. And he had like 6 years of use on it before the latest Microsoft accounting package wouldn't run on his system. You don't have the memory, you don't have the processing power, you need to upgrade your system.